Georgetown, Texas crossed 100,000 residents, and it did it faster than almost any other city in the United States, which is a nice way of saying the moving trucks haven't really stopped since 2022. For 2 years straight, the U.S. Census Bureau named Georgetown, Texas, the fastest growing city in the country for cities over 20,000 people. At some point, that's not a trend, that's just Georgetown's personality. So when people ask me why Georgetown is the #1 place to live in Central Texas near Austin, my answer is always the same, because no other suburb combines everything Georgetown has at once. The historic town square, homes on an acre or more, 55 plus communities, schools, the price point, the lifestyle. No other suburb even comes close to giving this all to you at one time. And trust me, I've looked. Other suburbs may be great in one area, but they're sorely lacking in others. By the way, I'm Stuart Sutton, and I've spent over 3 decades helping buyers and sellers right here in Georgetown, Texas. Long enough that I can remember when getting to Austin didn't require a strategy session. This isn't just my market, it's my home. In this video, I'm going to prove that claim by walking you through everything that actually matters before you move here. The value, the pricing, what your budget actually buys you, what a Saturday morning in Georgetown feels like, and the honest trade-off a lot of agents aren't going to share with you. Georgetown, Texas sits about 30 miles north of Austin, Texas. That distance is actually one of the best things about it. You're close enough to get into Austin when you need to, but you're far enough out that you can, well, completely escape the density, the traffic corridor, and the price premiums for living closer in. You know, the kind of stuff that makes people white-knuckle their steering wheel and question life choices while they're in traffic on Interstate 35. Granted, there are suburbs that can say they're closer in, Cedar Park, Round Rock, but what separates Georgetown from them is not just distance, it's what you actually get when you arrive. Georgetown has a real historic downtown. The Williamson County Courthouse sits right in the center of a Victorian-era town square that's been here over 100 years. That's not something a developer built in 2019 to make a master plan community feel like a real town, complete with a fake Main Street and a fountain nobody remembers approving. Georgetown, Texas is the real thing. This city just crossed 100,000 residents according to the U.S. Census Bureau, and that represents close to a 50% increase since 2020. For 2 years in a row, Georgetown was the fastest growing city in the U.S. among cities over 20,000 people. And yes, moving companies are doing very well here. Now you might think that kind of growth would have turned Georgetown into another generic suburb, but it has not. And the reason is that Georgetown had real bones before the growth started. The fabulous town square, the incredible parks, the river corridors, the trail system, homes on an acre or more. Growth came to Georgetown and layered on top of something that was already here, instead of just showing up with nothing and calling itself historic anyway. That's why Georgetown has more 55 plus adult communities than anywhere else near Austin. Sun City, Heritage Oaks, Regency at Santa Rita Ranch, and others. I've been here over 3 decades. And yes, Georgetown has more homes on an acre more than anywhere else. It's not just a marketing claim. More 55 plus homes, more 1 acre plus homes, more new homes, not to mention more homes around historic downtown Georgetown that are just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. When people ask me about it, I just respond with, Georgetown, Texas is a real city with a real identity. This happens to be 30 miles from one of the fastest growing tech corridors in the country. Now, if you're retiring in Georgetown, you might not think that you need to care about schools, but hang with me because you actually might need to know this, or someone you know will need to get this information. Georgetown is not served by one school district, it's served by 3. And which one you end up in depends entirely on where in Georgetown you end up buying, which means the street you fall in love with can matter more than the zip code. Now, Georgetown Independent School District covers most of the city. The Texas Education Agency did rate Georgetown ISD a C. That's for the 24-25 school year. But Georgetown High School had a 99% graduation rate and an average GPA of 3.58. And for a lot of families, that's pretty solid. But if super top-rated schools are a priority, then you can also live in Georgetown and look at the western side. That part falls into Liberty Hill Schools, and a section of it actually falls into Leander. Those schools are going to be rated significantly stronger. Stiles Middle School in the Leander School District, for example, and Rouse High School, also in Leander, both rank in the top here. Rancho Siena Elementary and Liberty Hill Schools has been recognized as one of the top-rated elementary schools in the entire Austin metro area. You know, the kind of school where PTA meetings probably run like board meetings. Now, Leander has scored 88 out of 100 from the Texas Education Agency, and Round Rock at 87. Georgetown is at 76. So if you're moving from a state where you want the strongest school assignment possible, the western corridors of Georgetown are where you want to focus. Now here's where it actually gets practical. The neighborhoods that sit in the Leander and Liberty Hill school district tend to carry slightly higher price points than the rest of Georgetown. But here's an FYI. Georgetown Independent School District hired a new superintendent just a couple of years ago, and things are looking positive. One of my clients who wanted higher rated schools in Georgetown School District because some of the schools are rated higher than others, visited a medium rated school and just loved the staff and the building and everything about it. So they started looking for homes in that school as well. Just saying that ratings are not a 100% reflection of what kind of education your kids are going to receive. Now, if you're retiring, you're thinking, well, that doesn't matter to me. And if you're in a 55 plus community, it doesn't. But if you're in a non-55 plus community, you're going to want to take that into account because the tax rates vary as well. And if you have family who's going to move to be close to you, you want to be aware of the different school district situations for them. As I said, Georgetown has 5 micro markets, and one factor that determines those micro markets are school districts. Make sure you know exactly what's going on before you ever make that offer. Now, this is where Georgetown starts to make a very compelling case: price and value. Let me walk you through what the money actually looks like. The median closed price in Georgetown is about $413,000. The majority of homes sold in Georgetown went between $300,000 and $500,000. That's based on the Austin Board of Realtors data. That's a genuine mid-range market with real options, multiple price points, not just the pick your favorite flavor over $700,000, which you'll find closer in. So let's compare that with one other suburb. For example, Cedar Park. The median price in Cedar Park right now is about $497,000. So you're already looking at a much lower entry price. And you're getting that price with a lot more options. And here's something that really matters. Georgetown has right at 1,300 active listings right now. Cedar Park, about 265. Round Rock and Leander have about half the number of homes for sale that Georgetown does. That difference in inventory is enormous, and it changes the buying experience. Instead of competing hard for a limited pool of homes, the real estate version of musical chairs, in Georgetown, you got some real choices, some real room to negotiate, and leverage as a buyer. And that leverage isn't just on price. Georgetown has more new homes under construction than any other area around Austin, Texas. Builders in Georgetown's master plan communities are offering strong incentives right now. Communities like Wolf Ranch, Palmer Ranch, Parkside on the River have been offering rate buydowns as low as 2.99% in the first year. That can translate to hundreds of dollars a month in savings. That's the kind of number that can make your mortgage lender a little more cheerful. I've also mentioned that Georgetown has more 55 plus communities than any other area around Austin. I don't really even have to mention the pricing and value because, well, they don't really exist anywhere else. And homes on large lots on an acre or more in Georgetown have an average price far lower than Leander's average prices are over $1 million. In Georgetown, it's around $850,000. And Georgetown has a lot more infrastructure. There are about 5 months of inventory, meaning right now that buyers have negotiating power in Georgetown, Texas. It's a structured market where a buyer who knows what they're doing can get a very good value. They don't have to write a love letter to the seller to be taken seriously. Now, there is one cost that catches a lot of out-of-state buyers off guard. We'll get to that in the trade-off section. But from a pure price per square foot and lot size standpoint, the value case for Georgetown over the closer-in suburbs is very clear. You're buying more home on more land, less competition, and you get more options on the table. If you're thinking about retiring to Georgetown, the next question is usually, what does the full picture actually cost? What does the lifestyle look like day to day? To go into this decision without understanding the HOA fee structure, the property tax breakdown, and the specific differences between the neighborhoods, you can end up choosing the wrong area for your situation and facing costs you didn't plan for. I created a spreadsheet that covers exactly that. It's in my Ultimate Retirement Guide for Georgetown, Texas. You can download that in the description below. Picture Saturday morning in Georgetown, Texas. You drive, well, only a few minutes from most of the neighborhoods in Georgetown to be on the town square. Williamson County Courthouse is right in the center. Victorian-era storefronts and housing all around the square. Independent restaurants, coffee shops, local businesses, not a strip mall, not a chain-heavy development. Actual historic square. It's been the center of this community for well over a century, and there's no mission statement required to prove it. Georgetown was officially designated the Red Poppy Capital of Texas by the Texas Legislature back in 1990. Every April, the city hosts the Red Poppy Festival on that same square. This past April was the 27th running of the Red Poppy Festival. 3 days, over 150 artists and vendors, live music, free admission, and over 75,000 visitors. Actually, about the same as the Country and Western Festival held in Georgetown, the Two-Step Inn. Who knew that red poppies were as popular as country and western music? That's not a developer marketing event. That's a city that's been doing this for decades because the community actually shows up for it, poppy pins and all. And the outdoor lifestyle here is generally one of the most underrated things about Georgetown. You can probably see the water flowing behind me. I'm on one of the trails that goes 22 miles around town. There's another 26 miles around the lake, another 7 miles in Gary Park, and 12 miles in Sun City. There's a wonderful treehouse playground, an 18-hole disc golf course, fishing pond. Blue Hole Park has a natural limestone-lined swimming lagoon that people drive in from all over Central Texas to use. So don't be surprised if that hidden gym you're visiting has an Austin license plate parked next to yours. Lake Georgetown gives you boating, camping, and trail access that most suburbs just don't have. Or just a lovely place to have a picnic lunch while you're overlooking the lake. Georgetown actually is one of the only 2 trails in Texas quantified as epic, which requires beauty and challenge all in the same set of trails. People come from all over to use these trails. The dining scene, well, it's not Austin, but I'll be straight with you. It's so good that a lot of people rarely go to Austin. There are fabulous independent restaurants on and around the square, and the city adds steadily as the population grows. I can name so many wonderful restaurants, so many types of dining. There are 4 great Tex-Mex restaurants in this little town of 100,000. And there's some wonderful high-end restaurants, City Post, Georgie's, and some of our favorites right in the middle there are 2020 Scratch Kitchen, Blue Corn Harvest, 600 Degree Pizza. Georgetown has dining that'll meet so many people's needs. Here's what I tell buyers who are relocating from out of the state. Georgetown feels like a real town. It has a civic identity, it has history, and it has the kind of Saturday morning that makes you feel like you actually live somewhere, not just in a subdivision next to a highway. And that's not something you can build from scratch. Georgetown already has it. Georgetown, Texas is about 27.4 miles from downtown Austin. Off-peak, that drive takes about 30 to 34 minutes on Interstate 35 or the 130 toll road. If you're heading into downtown Austin at 10 in the morning or coming back at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's pretty straightforward. But as you can imagine, there's a but. Because during peak hours, this is one of the things buyers sometimes find out after they've already fallen in love with a house. And by then, it's a much harder conversation. Interstate 35 between Georgetown and Austin carries a heavy load of both local commuters and long-distance travelers. Morning rush hour runs roughly from before 7 to about 9 in the morning, heading south into Austin. Evening rush is a little after 4 till nearly 7, going north. During those windows, that 27-mile drive can stretch to 45, 60 minutes or more, depending on where on I-35 you hit the congestion. There's plenty of time to develop strong opinions about traffic engineers, believe me. The 130 toll road gives you a way around the worst of it, and a lot of Georgetown commuters use it. It does add a toll cost, but takes meaningful time off the drive on bad days. Consider the toll the price of admission for keeping your sanity. Now, Ronald Reagan, which becomes Palmer closer in on the west side, is more convenient to the main areas located on that side of Georgetown. Now, here's some context that helps. Most Georgetown buyers are not making that downtown Austin commute 5 days a week. A substantial portion of retiring locators I work with are still remote workers, or they're working in the tech corridor to the south of Georgetown, which includes Dell, IBM, Samsung, Apple, and other employers in Cedar Park, Round Rock, and North Austin. Many of those employers are a simple 15 to 20 minutes from Georgetown. That's a very manageable daily commute. And for those retirees who do not work anymore, the commute, well, it's irrelevant. They're choosing Georgetown for the lifestyle, the community, the proximity to the family. Austin's airport's about 45 minutes south, and the Georgetown Municipal Airport is right in Georgetown, and that's for those who travel by private aircraft. The straightforward answer on commute is this: if you're in an office environment in downtown Austin 5 days a week and peak hour timing is not flexible, those extra miles beyond Cedar Park or Round Rock are a real consideration. But if your situation is more flexible or your employer is in the northern tech corridor, Georgetown's location is not really a material disadvantage. And Georgetown, Texas offers a far more extensive package than any other suburb. Now, I said earlier in the video that I was going to give you the straightforward, honest picture. So here it is. There are 2 trade-offs in Georgetown that I tell every buyer about before they start. The first one is property taxes. Now, Texas has no state income tax. And that's one of the biggest financial reasons that buyers from other states tend to like it here. But Texas does have property taxes, and those rates are a little higher than most people expect. If you're in the city of Georgetown, the effective property tax is about 1.82%. The national median is about 1.02%. So on a $418,000 home, you're looking at an annual tax bill of about $7,607. That's money that doesn't go away. It's part of your monthly cost, whether you're financing the home or not. A few things worth considering. The rate varies by location in Georgetown. For example, if you're outside the city, your rate would be about 1.556. That's if you're still in the Georgetown School District, of course. Now, inside the city, I mentioned 1.82, but that can go up to 2.6 and anywhere in between, depending on the community that you're in the utility district that you're in. So where you buy in Georgetown makes a difference on the tax rate. Sometimes just a few miles is worth several $100s a month. Just an FYI, my ultimate retirement guide for Georgetown, Texas actually has a spreadsheet included that shows you the cost difference for many areas in Georgetown. You can download it, no hassle, no obligation. Now, different school districts have different tax rates too, so keep an eye on that. Now, once you purchase, you can put in a homestead exemption on the home, and that does reduce your tax liability. And the over 65 exemption freezes your tax bill, so it will not go up. Retirement math in Georgetown works very well for people coming from high-income tax states. You're basically swapping an income tax in your state for a property tax here. And sometimes the numbers come out very well. Now, the second trade-off you need to be aware of is that Georgetown is a car-dependent city. Most of the things I've described earlier about the lifestyle, the town square, the parks, it's all real. But outside the downtown square, in a few walkable pockets, most day-to-day errands require a car. Grocery stores, doctor's office, fitness centers, you're going to be driving to those. If that's a lifestyle you're comfortable with, and for most buyers it is, then it's not an issue. But if you're coming from an urban, walkable environment, and that's meaningful to you, then this is worth factoring in before you make a commitment. Your future self is either going to love the extra trunk space or miss that corner bodega. But I would rather you hear these things now than discover them 3 months after you've moved in. So the question becomes, who's Georgetown perfect for? With all that on the table, let me tell you who Georgetown is the right fit for. The first profile is the retiree, relocating from, well, just about anywhere. I've helped relocators from East Coast to West Coast and beyond. Georgetown has 22,534 seniors, approximately, in a city of just over 100,000. The median age here, about 44.3 compared to 35.9 for the rest of state of Texas. This is a community that has a strong, mature adult population, and the infrastructure reflects it. Sun City, of course, is one of the largest 55-plus active adult communities in the country. Regency at Santa Rita Ranch, one of the new options with strong amenities and an active lifestyle focus. There's some great boutique 55-plus communities as well. Not the scale that you see in Sun City, but offering the 55-plus lifestyle that a lot of people want. Golf carts are optional. It seems like everyone's got one anyway. Now, for the buyer coming from a high-tax, high-cost-of-living state, the financial trade tends to make sense. You swap income tax for property tax, and you bring significant equity to your home. You get more home, more property, a real downtown, real outdoor recreation, and a genuine sense of community. Many of my buyers in this profile purchase in cash or close to it. Georgetown's large lot inventory, half acre, acre or more, are for retirees who want space and privacy because they just didn't have that option before. Now, if you're working at one of the major employees in the northern tech corridor, including Dell, Samsung, Apple, IBM, or if you're moving here to be near family who's already here, Georgetown is going to put you within 15 to 25 minutes of work. And you're getting significantly more house than you would in a closer in suburb or in Austin. With 1,300 plus active listings, you've got real options instead of looking at a tight inventory in another suburb. There are 3 school districts in Georgetown. So if you're retiring, but your kids want to move closer, they have some school options. Now, we've got buyers who don't commute every day, but they still work. And they're choosing Georgetown because they want somewhere that actually feels like it's got an identity. The town square, the events calendar, the parks, the trails, the community. Georgetown has a median household income of just shy of $100,000, which means the neighborhoods are established, neighbors are invested, and the community is active. It's the kind of place where someone actually notices if your grass gets a little too enthusiastic. There are also grandparents moving to be near family, already living in the Austin area, as well as those kids moving to be near grandparents. Georgetown offers a lifestyle without the pace of Austin, but Austin's close. The remote worker can work from just about anywhere, and Georgetown gives you great outdoor access, quality of life that people are chasing when they decide they want to leave that major city, but still have a lot of the amenities that they've enjoyed. These are the 3 profiles that cover the vast majority of serious Georgetown buyers. And the truth is, people who struggle with Georgetown are ones who need to be in Austin every day and just can't manage that commute. If you don't have to be in Austin every day, Georgetown is a very strong answer. A lot of agents sell Georgetown, Texas, but most of them are not spending every working day inside the market, understanding there are 5 micro markets within Georgetown. Georgetown isn't just another suburb I might happen to show homes in. It's been my home for over 3 decades. If you buy in the wrong part of Georgetown, Texas, for your next situation, you could end up with a tax bill that's higher than it has to be, or a community that just doesn't fit your lifestyle. And those decisions follow you for years. If you're thinking about moving to Georgetown and you'll want to walk through which area actually fits your situation, call or text me. No hassle, no obligation. I'm a little old-fashioned. I do respond to my texts and calls personally, usually in short order. If you prefer, you can book a call in the link below. Again, I'm Stuart Sutton. I've been helping buyers find the right home in the right part of Georgetown for over 3 decades. Touch base with me, and we can figure out your plan together. Remember, it's your choice, so make it a powerful day.